coaches. Then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
This is Raiders Allegiance with Lunatic Raider. Welcome to the dark side.
What is the deal, Raider Nation? We are live. We are live. We are live. Man, if this is your first time to the channel, please do me that solid. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button and knock the hell out of that notification bell so you can be notified of all the content I release, even breaking news. I'd like to welcome you guys. Raiders Allegiance with yours truly, Lunatic Raider. All Raiders, no cut. Man, tell me guys, go ahead and get in this little chat. I'm gonna wait on some people. Be more than happy to go ahead and ask any questions you have, make any comments. Let's go ahead and do this also so we can go ahead and let's get things going here, baby boy. We got the link in the chat if you guys want to join in. And man, it is what it is. How you guys doing on this fabulous Thursday? You know, how are you guys doing? Where are you guys from? What you guys got planned this weekend? All that good stuff, man. All that good stuff. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Raiders Allegiance. For those who are tuned in, we are going live. Oh, matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this one too. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Come on, man. Oh, shoot. I'm tripping. Let's send this down. We do this one like this. There we go. We are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. And we are live on Twitter. Welcome. Welcome one. Welcome all. All my Raiders and Raiderettes. How y'all feeling today? Know what I mean? Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL news. Some of it indirectly is dealing with the Raiders, or that we deal with. If you guys don't know, it's been reported that Eric Bieniemy is staying put with the Kansas Shitty Queefs. That's right. Eric Bieniemy is staying put with the Kansas Shitty Queefs. So, not that it's a factor, you know what I mean? The way we're trying to build our team, it doesn't matter who they have over there on their sideline. We're trying to take them out. All can get it. All can get it. But yeah, that's one of the biggest news. Other news is that in the next coming few days, who knows when, that Green Bay should get a response from Aaron Rodgers on his future with the team as far as retiring, staying put, or requesting a trade. There is said to be multiple teams who have deals on the table for him if he becomes available in a trade. Man, it's going to be interesting what happens with this scenario, because I think the domino falls, excuse me, the domino falls when whatever decision Aaron Rodgers make, then we'll know what's going to happen pretty much with Adams. Adams, they could let Adams walk. The GM of Green Bay said he does not like franchising players. It is a possibility that Adams could walk, but that does not make sense to me, for the fact that why let him walk and not get anything? That's kind of hard. Quarterbacks don't just get to walk off unless they're at the end of their career and they're done. You know what I mean? Or there's a mutual respect amongst him and that team to, go separate ways. But usually that does not happen either. If they both agree on separation, then it's usually they give the dignity and respect to the quarterback to choose what teams would he like to be traded to, and then that team can field offers and take the best one. You know what I mean? That's just how that goes. But with the decision of Aaron Rodgers looming, then Adams is in play. Could be in play for the Raiders. Would I say go out and spend your whole boatload of under the cap money for one player? No, I don't think that's a good idea. But we don't know exactly the numbers that Adams is asking for. It's put out there in the news that he's asking for $30 million. I don't believe that. I don't believe that he's putting that out there, because why would he have to? You know what I mean? Like I said, legal tampering is March 15th. And all they have to do, him and his agent, they can discuss money with the teams that's interested in him. If he walks off as a free agent from Green Bay. But there's no reason and no purpose in broadcasting what you're looking for. People know that you're like the best receiver in the NFL. So what you're asking for is going to be high. If you put them amongst those who's considered elite receivers, top 5, you're going to get more, because the salary cap went up, and 2, you're just a top tier talent at that position. So you're going to require that kind of money. It's feasible, but maybe it's just the high point that you're starting negotiations with the number 30, and then pretty much work down to a more realistic type contract, which it'll be over 20 million, just because the increase of the salary cap. Probably around 24, 25 he could get max per year. I don't see 30. I don't see any team willing to pay 30 a year for a receiver, especially if it's now. I'll take this into consideration. If a team has a team-friendly contract with like a rookie quarterback, you know what I mean, that's not absorbing a lot of the cap space, and they're lacking a true number 1 receiver. I tell you what's scary, and I looked at this yesterday, that Cincinnati has a lot of money under the cap too. They were in the Super Bowl. They have a rookie quarterback under a rookie contract, and therefore he's not absorbing a lot of that money of that cap space. You possibly could get Adams going there if Cincinnati feel that they're only 1 receiver away. You bring Adams into the fold. That's with what Cincinnati already has. They got a nice young team over there, man. A nice young team. And I think a receiver like Adams really have them in the discussion as being contenders year out, depending on what kind of contract they give him. Burrows is going to still be there. He's was this Burrows' 2nd year? So being a first-round pick, he still got 3 years left with that 5th-year option on a cheap deal. So you really don't have to look in giving Burrows elite money until 4 years. If they do an extension later on and give them that extension, it won't kick in until 4 years from now. Man, Cincinnati set up right. That's when you go draft the quarterback and it's a good quarterback fit, and he's that good at developing into an elite quarterback, that takes a whole lot of weight off your back. You know what I mean? They don't have that contract where now these quarterbacks are going to be getting 30, 40, and next thing you know, the next tier is going to be 50 million. You know, it's just going to happen. That's just the way the evolution of the game is. Everything inflates price-wise, just because every time the cap goes up, your team has to spend 89% of that cap hit, of that cap space or cap dollar that you have. All 89% out of that you have to spend this year. So and then you can roll over the rest of the 11%. But you're going to leave some wiggle room with some money just in case teams release players during the season, or you get a player that's going down with an injury and you go into free agency. You bring up people from the practice squad, you sign other teams' releases to fill those needs that you feel can help you until at least somebody comes back from injury, if they do come back from injury. If not, then they can take over that spot for the rest of the season. So, but Cincinnati got a lot of cap space to go after a 1 receiver, like if that number 30 is true. But I just think that's just a starting point. In any negotiation, you start high and then you negotiate down. If you have to negotiate down to what realistically you were looking for in the first place. That just makes perfect sense. You don't start at what you want and think you're going to go up, because you possibly can get more than what you perceive as your worth. People overpay. People do overpay. Like to say shout out to those who are now tuning in, who has not been to this channel before. This is Raiders Allegiance. I am Lunatic Raider. If this is your first time here, I roll out the silver and black carpet, and please ask you to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and knock the hell out of that notification bell if you want to be informed of all content that I released, including breaking news. I'd like to welcome you guys. This is all Raiders, no cut. We're talking Raiders. We're talking anything associated with the Raiders, even if it's 6 degrees of separation. We are here to address such. With that being said, the other stuff that we need to discuss, or that we could discuss, and if you guys if you guys just now pulling up, look into the chat. There is a link if you would like to join me live here, ask questions, give your opinion, give your thoughts. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. We're all one nation. Nobody's better than the rest. We're all the best. You feel me? So pull on up, ask your questions. Let's get this in. The next subject, let's see, what can we touch on today? Anybody heard any good news or potential news of the Raiders signing a new tight end coach? I haven't heard nothing. You know what I mean? I haven't heard anything out on the wire, no rumors, no speculations. Haven't heard anything. Who is the candidates, plural, to be tight end coach? I'm waiting on that one. I'm waiting on that one. Are they going to try to put the tight ends with the receivers and let Bennett go ahead and coach that? I don't think so. Bennett has his hands full with the receiver, and I'm pretty sure what the Raiders have in store, I would assume that they will go in free agency for a wide receiver, and I would assume that they draft a wide receiver or two. Reason why I say or two, possibility of trading back, accumulating more draft picks, and executing those picks on skilled positions, wide receiver, running back, tight ends. Josh Daniels like to run 2 tight end sets. I think we need at least another tight end or two. There's a possibility that we could get rid of Waller. Trade Waller for, it depends on what his contract demands are, extension-wise. You know what I mean? If he's trying to break the bank, we can't break the bank on everybody, because Max Crosby is due, and he's deservingly so, deserves his money, which is going to probably be around $20+ million a year. You have Renfro you're going to have to take care of with extension. We already know the situation with Derek Carr. Okay, here's something I found interesting with this Carr quarterback situation for the Raiders. You see that other outlets are putting out they could potentially trade Derek Carr to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fine. Okay. But what is your plan at quarterback if you do that? There has to be a plan. Now, one thing that was brought to my attention was we heard about Russell Wilson. We know that the Raiders are one of the teams that before the season, his agent put out there teams that he would be willing to play for, to be traded to. Raiders was one of them. Right now, they have the Raiders ranked betting wise on the betting line plus 800 for him to land with the Raiders. Now, what makes this scenario interesting and plausible is the fact that one thing a lot of people forget is what could really make things happen. And I'll say, pay attention to this. If you hear anything in the news, entertainment-wise, not sports, entertainment-wise, of his wife Sierra getting a residency in Las Vegas, something might be brewing, because that's the kind of couple with him and her that I don't see them living apart and being separate like him in Seattle and her out here. You know what I mean? If she's on a residency for God knows how many months, if she can get one, but I heard she wants one. And I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why Vegas was one of the destinations that Russell Wilson was interested in. Now, like I say, pay attention to the entertainment news. If Sierra some way, somehow gets a residency in Las Vegas, I would not put out the fact that Russell Wilson could be right behind. He could ask for a trade with the Raiders, and I'm telling you this, a lot of you guys that like Carr, but you cannot tell me Carr is better than Russell Wilson. It just is what it is. That's the pecking order. Russell Wilson been to the Super Bowl twice, won once. Of course, he had a not so good season recently, but you gotta, like you say with Carr. Carr needs weapons. So does he. He doesn't have what he once had when he went to the Super Bowl. There's no Marshawn Lynch's. They got DK Metcalf, but that's a possibility of him hitting the market, maybe from rumors standpoint that he could be traded. What do you give up for Metcalf? Are you willing to give up a first-round pick? You know what I mean? If this scenario plays out where all this falls in line to happen, if you do trade Carr to Pittsburgh, what would you ask for? What would be the asking price for from Pittsburgh if they want Derek Carr? And the only way that the Raiders make that trade and send Carr off to Pittsburgh is if they got a quarterback in mind to come right in and hit the ground running. And that's going to be a veteran quarterback. And you got a couple of options. If Mr. You-know-who in Green Bay decides to not hang it up, but wants to be traded, there you have it. That could be one issue. The other issue could be Russell Wilson. If so happens he decides that he wants to play for the Raiders and be traded here, but you got to have that on the table. You got to have those options there, and not just a hopeful option, but a guaranteed option that you can sign one of those two quarterbacks to replace Carr. Now, with the draft picks and whatnot from Pittsburgh, that's what you use to package up to either trade for either one of those quarterbacks. If Green Bay chooses to trade Aaron Rodgers, you come up with a package of a couple of firsts, because with Carr, you're going to get a couple of firsts. You might get, who knows what else you'll get. People speculate, but it all depends on what other teams feel Carr's value is. And Carr's not a bottom of the barrel quarterback. He's just above middle of the pack. So he's between the top tier and middle of the league in football, which is going to be around the 10 to, I say 10 to 13. He's going to be top 10, 13 easy, if not a little higher. It all depends on what you rank quarterbacks at. Who do you feel is elite? I see a lot of other outlets put out shit that I'm like, how? And he's better than Carr, and Carr and outplayed that quarterback and put up better stats. But I mean, everybody has their difference of opinions of what makes a quarterback elite, what makes him good, what makes him mediocre, and what makes him trash. Everybody has something different. You don't either look at the total of touchdowns compared to the total of turnovers. You might look at yardage. You might look at being clutch. One thing you can't say is you can't say Carr ain't clutch. Carr may not be the elitist. I wouldn't even put him elite, to be honest with you, because he hasn't had everything to be elite. All your elite quarterbacks, look what's around them. You know what I mean? Look what's around them. I mean, you don't get everything, but you know what I mean? There's something on that team that makes that quarterback elite. Either you got an elite quarter or receiver. You might have an elite run game. Therefore, the play actions work well. You might have an elite offensive line where he has all day to throw. You might have a defense that might keep the other team from scoring over 14 points a game. You know what I mean? That helps a quarterback be elite. That means they're getting 3 and outs and the ball's coming right back to the quarterback to go ahead and add more to his stats. You know? So I don't think Carr is elite. Can he be elite? Possibility. Good possibility. But it all depends on the team that's built around him. You know? And the people that don't like Carr, that hate Carr, say, you always, every year you say you got to give Carr his weapons. You got to give any quarterback weapons. It don't matter who it is. I mean, Brady is considered the GOAT at the quarterback position, right? With with New England. Answer this. How many elite wide receivers did New England ever go out and get for Tom Brady? I know Chad Johnson played for him. I know Randy Moss got traded there with him. They even got receivers now that's gonna hit the free agent market and could get signed. You know what I mean? In the past, it was always, they even made an attempt to have Antonio Brown. They always went out and got somebody for Brady. Brady had one of the best offensive lines, period. Defenses were solid. They knew how to game plan against Belichick's bread and butter is defense. Don't think his offense is not offense. His background is defense. When you see Belichick on the sideline, he is coaching up the defense. He is talking to the defensive coordinator because he's the offensive coordinator. There is no offensive coordinator to talk to if he's the one calling the plays. I mean, the offensive coordinator takes care of the offense and calls the plays because Belichick ain't calling. Belichick is over that defense. He's calling that shit on the defense. Offenses, he don't have to worry about the offense. He has his OC there making the plays. He's dealing with the defense making them. He's overseeing that. That's his background. That's his bread and butter. It's just like when I see Patrick Graham with us, his bread and butter, if you look at his history of coaching, was linebackers and the defensive line. That's why I'm not worried about whoever the linebacker coach is. Antonio Pierce, first time being a linebacker coach in the NFL, ex-player, but he has Patrick Graham to groom him. He has Patrick Graham. That's what Patrick Graham's background was defensive line and linebackers. He knows it. Now he's a defensive coordinator with us, grooming people underneath him to let them be next in line. See, what we got to pay attention to, one thing about having a coaching staff that is considered some of the brilliant brains on that side of the ball. And when I mean that side of the ball, the sideline. You know what I mean? Some of the most brilliant minds on offense, defense is on this team. Now you got to look at this. Everything that the main coaches, McDaniels, he's bringing in good people to work with him. But those people got to bring people underneath them to groom. Plain and simple. Because there's going to be a day that a team that needs a coach is going to contact the Raiders and ask for permission to talk to Graham. So if Graham goes ahead and takes a head coaching job, which I don't blame him, that's the next level up. He has to have Jason Simmons, who came over from Carolina. Let him come over, and then he's next in line to be the defensive coordinator. Then you can move Pierce up to be defensive line, or you know what I mean. It's a cycle. It's a brotherhood that these coaches have. It's all about helping each other, you know. And we know if they help them good enough, they're going to be candidates to be head coaches at other teams once coaches get fired, retire, or whatever. The next in line is going to be, especially if we do good. That's just the nature of the beast. When you do good and you coach good, other teams are going to want you. Hands down. Other teams are going to want you. So now that Belichick tree now has crossed over to Las Vegas. Now, Josh McDaniels he's not trying to mimic Belichick. He's his own, like what Belichick is doing at head coach. Now he's bringing his guys in to groom up. See, Belichick always done that. Belichick brought McDaniels back when it failed in Denver for him. And I told people, if you haven't seen my previous videos, I talked about why McDaniels failed in Denver. And see how we're talking about a head coach bringing in his guys under him to groom them and let them be next in line. McDaniels didn't do that with Denver. Go look at that coaching staff. I researched it up. All those the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, running back coach, all of them were previous Denver Broncos. So the way I'm looking at it, McDaniels never been with Denver Broncos. And the people that were hired in the coordinator positions never worked with McDaniels in not Green Bay, but worked with McDaniels in New England. They never worked together. So what that told me was the front office of Denver dictated to McDaniels who his coaching staff was going to be. Now tell me this. How can you be successful if you can't bring your own guys in and you the head coach? And we've seen that plenty of times because it's happened with the Raiders. Al Davis brought in his guys, but look what happened. You know what I mean? How successful have we been? You know, when he used to bring in head coaches, then he named the defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators, be like, now y'all work together. Don't work like that, man. It works better when you have a rapport with someone. When you and that person can understand and pick each other's brain to come out with the best outcome for a team. You got to have that brainstorm, you know? Without a brainstorm, you're not going to come out with anything. Yes, indeed. We got somebody coming up in here, man. Welcome to the stage.
What's good? Sports Source,
What's
man.
going on, man?
Man, I think you were on my show once, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
How's it going? How's the subscribers coming along?
We reached 140, and we're at the 2-month mark.
Man, congrats.
I mean, it just continues with consistency, and luckily I got more people than I used to have because we're having some issues over here with one of my people are in the hospital. Shout out to you, man. Hopefully you're doing well.
Oh yeah, prayers out.
And then the other guy, he's gonna take a step away for a week. So I have other people stepping up, which is great to have.
Okay.
A big kind of thing here, but I was actually going to be doing another actual live stream on my end in about an hour if you want to join up on that one to talk some Raiders football again at all. Yeah, I mean, I kind of got so I have another Raider fan joining, his buddy, his close buddy who's actually a Saints fan. So I'm like, okay, that's 2 people. Just see what happens tonight, you know?
Yeah.
Consistency, man. Consistency is key.
That's exactly it. Hey, go ahead and shout out your all your info, man. Your YouTube channel.
If you guys need me from IG, you can go to my lvraiders.media. I'm there pretty consistently. You know, like I said, there might be times you can't text me or I can't respond back, but I'll respond when I can. The IG, or the YouTube is actually exactly what my name is on here for the first time. I usually just do my name, but I'm like, fuck it, let's just do my YouTube channel. Sports Source, man. On Instagram, me and my buddy, he made up the IG to kind of be like the where like if we make a clip or something, we want to post on IG. I'm gonna make sure I get this. What's that? Oh, jeez, my phone being dumb now. Yeah, sports underscore source 2. That's where you can find if you need any to look at any of the clips we make over there. Pretty consistency over there. So we'll see. I mean, we're growing, which was kind of crazy because I went to bed 3 nights ago, and then I got a message in all caps to check the numbers again, and we hit 130 out of nowhere. I'm like, we're doing something right over here. We're doing something
good
right.
Shit.
So,
that's good shit.
So now, I mean, I had the aim by next month at one point was to hit 150. I'm like, that can't be my goal now. That can't be my goal if I'm at 140 entering my 3rd month. It has to be like maybe 200 because I just went from 50 subs after the first month to 140. So we grew up 90 subs. So if we can at least keep it a consistency of like 70 subs, maybe a month, we're fine. But yeah, again, I heard you were talking about the coaching staff a little. I mean, you've been on here for 29 minutes. Jeez. I think I entered like 4 minutes ago. I think we went on a rant about my channel growth here.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the Raiders coaching staff, it's probably the best it's been in the past decade. Like this is the best coaching staff.
I agree.
Now there's some people who are looking at the bigger names. I've been looking at the underrated kind of signs. Like if we were to at least add, and I mean, I know these aren't big names, but these are guys that can stay healthy, which is number one, what you look for. And number 2 is they're consistent at least their improvements along the O-line, and that's it'll be left guard Mark Lewinsky from the Colts, who's expected to leave his team, and then Morgan Moses, right tackle, because I am not going to sit here for another year watching Brandon fucking Parker killed it. Brandon Parker's a backup at its finest, and I'm like, okay, bring him back as a backup, sure, whatever, he's depth, but you can't roll into fucking training camp and roll into like the start of the year with. I get it, Leatherwood's not a tackle, but this team at one point was making the reports that they want to move him back to tackle. Don't. He's a guard. Let him be his run. Let him be the run blocking guard he needs to be. And then outside of that, add around it. I mean, and I've said, now someone asked me about, some of the prospects, and I've looked a little deep into this class. Actually, shout out to that. I've decided it'll be at the end of March 28th or so. I think that's the Saturday at the final end of the month. We will be doing our channel draft kind of thing. And the name of the show I came up with was Draft Warriors. I don't know how, but that's a cool name. So I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna use it. But I think I don't think we go O-line in the first round. I really don't. I think we need to. It needs to. If we can,
I agree, and this is why I see a lot of sports outlets going ahead mocking offensive linemen to us in the first round. But the thing is with me is when you have a team. See, we're in a unique situation. We have a team that was a playoff team. I'm not comfortable with bringing in an offensive lineman to plug him in right away and wait for him to develop. I need a veteran.
I need veterans that can.
I need a veteran like for this team because this team,
especially after watching Leatherwood, dude. I'm sorry, I can't have a repeat of Leatherwood, and then we waste another year of Derek Carr. Like, what the fuck, man? He's even said this before. He even said at one point that he had lost faith, and now we got the right coaching staff, and hopefully he gains faith if we can actually build around him. We need to build around him. I mean, we need to build around him for at least this year. See what happens.
Like I was saying, you got to build around any quarterback.
I'm not really talking about like for the future. I mean, I'm not really worried about the future as much as right now.
Right now, exactly.
And I know I'm not comfortable with this linebacker room. As far as I've seen, we're not going to be what.
Oh, you talk about that's on the team now?
Yeah. I mean, outside Devon Diablo, who's probably him and Denzel will be our top two linebackers.
Yeah.
We're expected to cut two guys who one is just a huge contract. He cannot listen. And my point at the end of the day was to restructure his contract because I can't pay him $17 million. That's Corey Littleton. Nope. But I'm not saying on the possibility of cutting him. I personally don't. I'm personally not a fan of cutting him, and here's why. He really excelled in 3-4 systems, like he really did out in LA. And he had a dominant. He had a dominant D line, and if we can build a dominant D line,
Aaron Donald in front. Yep.
I would be fine with doing about $8.5 million a year, maybe 2 years, 8.5, like that'd be $17 million. If we can restructure, maybe move. His contract, even or extend him and take away some of the money from now and extend it longer. Like I said, I'm fine with that. Even a 3-year, $18 million, that's $6 million a year. That's fine. I think he would excel in this defense, but we're not going to keep Kwiatkowski. That's the other linebacker I was going to name. He's had trouble ever since signing here to stay on the field. And if you can't stay on the field, I don't want you on my team.
What I discovered yesterday, if you were to use Littleton and Kwiatkowski as post June 1st cuts, that frees up almost $20 million under the cap this year.
Yeah.
And I think right now we're sitting at like 20 million, 20 and a half.
Yeah, we're at 21 million. Now, the point of the matter is this money would not be, I want to make this very clear. This money will not be used to get Devontae Adams.
No.
The problem with me, and the problem I've had ever since this has started, there are certain Raider fans, and I'm not calling them out, I'm just saying, you guys have this belief, we're going to free up money to go get Devontae Adams. No, we don't need that. And if you haven't seen, I would be fine with this guy signing up with us for a wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry will be cut. And I think if we can get him on the right contract, him next to maybe an Allen Robinson, I don't care. Sign Allen Robinson and then sign maybe Jarvis Landry for the right contract. I think that's a wide receiver 1, 2, and then you have Renfrow in the slot. I think that's a good receiving core. That's just me, maybe. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, though.
All right.
You can keep talking. I'll be right
Welcome
back.
everybody that's here. If you're just now pulling up, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified of all the content. Feel free to join us if you guys got questions, comments. The chat is open for you guys. You can go ahead and ask whatever questions you have. We have Sports Source joining us today. So we're gonna go in, you guys. We're talking about the Raiders. It's all Raiders, no cut. All Raiders, no cut. You see the title. It is what it is. Yeah, man. There's a lot of things that we have to factor into this off season, and time is getting shorter now because, like I said, we're outside of 2 weeks before the legal tampering could happen, which is March 15th. So that's a Monday. That's when teams can go ahead and discuss stuff with the agents of players. We'll get an idea of what players are going to end up going where. You know, like the Adam Schefters and the Ian Rappaports are going to have inside info on which free agents are planning on going where. But like I said, the legal tampering is March 15th on a Monday. We got just over 2 weeks left until that time period.
Yeah.
So we got to pay attention to what's out there and who I'm interested in who's connected to us. Because there's a lot of teams out there that's in competition with these free agents that got more money than we do.
There was a report that was put out about the Chargers weren't going to be too active in free agency, which I'm like, why? Why not?
Yeah.
But not my team to judge.
Exactly.
I would be okay with, honestly, what I was going to say for the first round would be like a divine, or not, Jesus, that's the guy we have on our team.
Yep.
Nakobe Dean, I would be okay with him.
Dean?
I think him next to Perryman, which, I mean, Perryman has said, which he's a $3 million cap hit, which I'm fine with. But Perryman said he would work on his coverage. He was kind of a liability out in coverage, but, you know, if he can work on that any more, that'd be fine.
Oh, yeah, he was solid. We also got to address the corner because we pretty much know where Hayward's going to end up. You know what I mean? Safety is floating out there about moving Abrams to linebacker, but if you do that, do you draft the safety or do you go out in free agency and grab one?
We have two options here. And one of them isn't even drafting one. Unless that's Kyle Hamilton, I don't want you.
Yeah.
We could roll with Tyree Gillespie, give him a chance, see what he can do, which I don't think would be terrible. But we could go sign one. Like Jabril Peppers, steal him from.
Exactly.
Now, another guy from the Giants defense who would be, I think, great as a DB or cornerback 4, because I think we're going to sign another cornerback to play cornerback 2 next to Mullen, maybe even cornerback 1. Just depends who we get. But I think another guy to look out from the Giants personally is probably Keon Cross at cornerback. He played really well throughout the year in Graham's system, and I think just getting more system guys that fit his scheme would be all right. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be cornerback 1 or 2. He's not cornerback 1 or 2. He could be depth like 4. We need it. I think this year proved in a way, we fucking sucked with depth. Like, our depth was horrible.
Yeah. It's like you said, there's options out there. I'm more kind of excited or anxious to see what exactly our front office, what do they like? For instance, let me ask you this: name 3 top players that you would like the Raiders to have that possibly, even if they did fall to us in the first round. So Nakobe Dean is one.
I'd be okay with, like, I know maybe.
So give me 3. Give me 3 players, not the same position though. 3 different.
So another guy. This is a defensive guy. I know he's probably projected to go higher, but this is another guy that. Now this would have to be if we signed more veteran leadership, veterans, like, because we're not going to get Hayward back, but if we move and go get another one, like a veteran from this position, I'd be fine with Andrew Booth, a cornerback, another young corner that was really good this year.
Yeah.
He's got great open field tackling, and he's got great, he can intercept the ball, and he plays really well in coverage. But this would have to be what I really wouldn't be fine with. I know Andrew Booth is good, but I would not be fine with rolling out the carpet of Mullen, Booth, and Nate Hobbs. That's way too young. We need at least one veteran in that cornerback room. And I know there's some Ravens who want J.C. Jackson, but he's probably going to be up there in the $18-20 million range. Again, that's another guy. I mean, yes, I would love to have him, but I don't think we're going to get him because of the money he's kind of requiring.
Yeah.
If we had 60 to 70, sure, throw out your bank for one guy, and then you still have like 30-40 million to work with. But in this case, we don't have 15 to 20 million, depending on how much you pay him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of pesos to give out, and it's like we need to really have we need to spend this money wisely. You know what I mean?
I mean,
now,
another guy at guard.
See,
I was going to say another guy at free agency guard to look out for. I think he's a free agent, but this is if they didn't resign. But I think they will. I'm just saying, like, say he sneaks through free agency, maybe a Laken Tomlinson at guard.
Okay.
But the third. I wouldn't hate a wide receiver, but I just don't think we're going to need one by the time the draft rolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just now Tony Jefferson. They said the Baltimore Ravens had just re-signed Tony Jefferson.
Mm-hmm. If Jabril Peppers isn't signed back to the Giants, I want him, to be honest.
I think he's going to leave. I think he's coming to us. To be honest with you, that makes the most sense. I mean, it just, like you said, we already got enough. We already got some young guys on there. We need a veteran. That's not, I mean, he's a veteran, but he's not long in the tooth where it's like he's not the last 2 years of his career type.
Oh, it's guy. It's not like Kareem Jackson where he's like 36.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, yes,
I mean, I'm
interested.
Mm-hmm. Divine Diablo interests me. I want to see his progression. So this season, I want to see exactly what this guy can do. Because usually, I mean, you get him out of their first year, and it's like, okay, let's see, does he struggle in the second? Does he get that sophomore jinx, or does he go ahead and keep escalating up towards the ceiling?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Patrick Graham is the perfect guy to come in here on this defense and help these guys do that. So that's a man. That was, to me, one of the most surprising hires, because everybody was thinking that Graham was going to stay with the Giants.
I really personally thought we were going to get the I think his name is Desai from the Bears. I thought that's who we were.
Yeah, I heard that name too. Yep, exactly. But I mean, the way the cards fell was like, damn, we get Graham. Are you serious? Because we need it, man. This defense, man. Last year, I just hate that bend don't break mentality.
I mean, that whole week we talked to Desai, and then out of nowhere, it's like, hey, we heard this guy. Like, what the fuck? We didn't.
Yeah, exactly. That shit caught me off guard.
Because every report that I read was pretty much saying, oh, we might, talk to him. And then boom, oh, we hired him. Like, what? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, did we even talk to him, or did he just say, hey, I'm gonna sign with you guys?
Out of nowhere, for real.
Dave Ziegler, I mean, I didn't really know who we were gonna hire GM, but I was thinking to myself, I said, we cannot fuck this up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the sky's the limit with the way they assembled this, and then I just, like I said, I just have to sit back. I can't get too, hope too much that it's gonna go into the right direction. I'm feeling it can and will, but we have to see the kind of moves we make.
Man, I'm in a group chat, and these people are trying to tell me that we aren't gonna sign no one. I'm like, bro, we can make up to $40 million. What are you talking about? And their only claim is because you have money doesn't mean you're going to improve. I'm like, we got a better coaching staff too.
See, and that's haters talking that shit, because for one, there's multiple factors in this that makes us attractive. One, it's Vegas. Two, there is no state income tax, so you keep more of your salary. Three, we have everything in position in that front office that has all the experience you need to win a Super Bowl. They've come. I know a lot of us Raider fans do not like the Patriots. We hate them. That's understandable. But you cannot deny they got 6 rings. No other team has 6 rings except for the Steelers. But you got to remember that was 2 different generations that won those 6 rings for them. Patriots got theirs all in the same shit while Brady was at the helm.
Yeah.
So their pedigree speaks for itself. They were Patriots, but they're no longer Patriots. They don the silver and black now. They're with the dark side. So I'm good with it. I don't care where they came from. What I care about is where they're at. And you figure, man, like I said, that pedigree and that.
Did you watch that? Did you watch the opening interview? Or not interview, but the press conference where he was like
Mark Davis when they brought out Ziegler and McDaniels.
Yeah, did you hear when he's like, just to clarify this, when he first saw me, he did admit it was a fumble.
Yup. That was just his, his icebreaker, man. But he come on now. He's coming to the Raiders to make us one of those type of franchises again. Because we were that years ago. And it's been a long time coming since we can actually be feared. Be feared or hated. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about fear or hated from what we do on the field. Not because we drive 160 miles an hour drunk. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of fear that I want. But it's upon us. And I'm real interested in these first and second round draft picks because the past, man, we make some of the dumbest ass decisions. And we see who we skip over to reach for players. And I'm like, damn, if we would have just took best available, we would have been all right.
I think the Cleve Farrell was like the most notable. Like we could have gotten an Ed Oliver at D tackle, man.
See?
But
it happens all the time.
I do think I think John Hankins is probably gone, to be honest. I don't know.
Hankins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to do something with the defensive tackle, especially if we're gonna lean on a 3-4. We need a legitimate nose tackle. This draft is nice with nose tackles in it.
I can't remember who it was.
I'm not so sure if we're gonna get. You know what I mean? I hear the name Dominican Sue, for in free agency, which I wouldn't mind as a veteran. I would bring him in if we drafted a defensive tackle in the first 3 rounds. Just to groom behind that veteran. You only got to get him for 2 years.
Yeah. I think there was one guy. I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to figure out who it is exactly, but there was some nose tackle. It was. I know this isn't a big name. Another guy that's kind of underrated. It's DJ. I think it's DJ Jones. He was one of the better run guys, run stuffing D tackles, and He forced a lot of fumbles, and he played sideline to sideline a lot. So he was pretty good. So I would be okay with him. And Ndamukong Suh is the 1-2 punch at D tackle.
Yeah, I think it's feasible.
I think the 1D tackle we need to re-sign is Solomon Thomas. He had a pretty good year.
Yeah, he's solid too. But like I said, we could sit here and speculate all we want as fans. It's going to be exciting to see exactly what happens. Once we see how the shoe drops, we're going to see exactly what direction are we going in. Or since McDaniels is an offensive-minded coach, are we going heavy offense in the draft and go heavy defense in free agency?
I think I was going to look at this. I was going to give you his name.
Because we need a tackle. I wouldn't mind a guard later, somewhere in the draft. Get a receiver. I want a running back. There's a running back I'm looking at out of Arizona State that I hope in the later rounds is available because he's good at catching, which is Rashad White. 6'2", 210, runs a 4.4, 640, but he's got good hands. So you can, and he's a big, physical, fast dude.
I mean, that's the last position we really need to worry about.
That's what I'm saying. Later on, because with the history of New England in the draft, when we get into these later rounds, we are going to trade back a couple, 2-3 times. They do that shit all the time. You be watching the draft on the third day, watching the rounds 4 through 7. New England made a trade. New England made a trade, and it was always going backwards, accumulating more picks. But that's what you do. That's what you do.
I think the wide receiver we need to target in this draft is Christian Watson out of North Dakota State. He's a 6'4", 210-pound, 4.3. He ran a 4.38 40, and he has really great hands.
Okay,
he's really fast, and that's a second rounder maybe, depending if he falls. Another guy to kind of look out for in this draft is like Chad Mumma from Wyoming. Possibly.
I got him written down too. Yep.
Yeah,
I like Mumma. Asamoah.
What position is that?
Asamoah plays the same position as well. What is it? Linebacker?
Oh, I was gonna say also, what college is he from?
Oh, Oklahoma. He's a junior out of Oklahoma. 6'1", 228.
Okay.
Got good speed, awareness, solid tackler. He's another one. I got like my top 3 linebackers that I got a top 3, and then I got 3 linebackers later on that you can fall to you. Of course, Nakobe Dean, Chad Mumma, and Brian Asamoah. Those are my top 3. My sleeper
linebackers in this draft.
These are all, those are linebackers. I got 3 linebackers that we can wait and they can fall to us. Leo Chanel out of Wisconsin, 6'2", 261. JoJo, and see this dude Chanel as a freshman at Wisconsin, he threw up 225 40 times. So upper strength he got it. He got it.
I mean, I'm surprised by the no name mentioned by this one linebacker, man, Devin Lloyd, or it is like you don't think we're getting him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe go look at his tape. He was pretty much. He played all around over there in Utah. He was that was kind. I really look at underrated guys. I think you could look at like even a later round pick of like if you really want a speedster, you can go get like I think he ran like a 4.29 40. Justin Ross, he's really fast.
Okay.
If you want to replace Ruggs' speed and you want to get someone else out there, because I'm sorry, I'm not rolling out with Deshaun Jackson again. Fuck that shit.
He's gone. He's gone. That experiment didn't work too good. It dropped balls.
Technically, he was a big part in why we couldn't kick a field goal at the end of that game against Cincinnati. You know how he dropped that
when he did that when he crossed, he dropped the damn ball. He would have had a touchdown with his speed. Man. He would have went right back. Man, I seen that shit. Like, what the fuck is you? Dude,
I don't even think that's the worst play we can even remember. And I hate to say that. The worst play is the Kansas City. First fucking game this guy's in. First fucking catch he has. And you know what? He turns around and lets the guy catch him, and then he fumbles.
No. With the one where he tried to go, he ran into coverage rather than it was wide open to his right. What the fuck? Yeah, I know exactly what. Yeah, that's the worst play. You right. That gets the dumbass Play of the Year award.
And remember, this is the same guy who did all that talking because he didn't get his receptions.
Yep.
Remember who you are.
With the Rams and wanted to be released. Exactly. Yeah, man. That's get us some competence on the wide receiver side. I wouldn't mind. I mean, if it's a few wide receivers drop to us in the first round, I'll be willing to take them. I will be willing to take them. And that's what my main thing was. I was thinking, we need to go ahead and draft a wide receiver. We also, in the free agency, get a veteran for the number 1. I'm telling you, because I'm not satisfied with Edwards. Edwards is not consistent. He's inconsistent. He can make a big play 1 minute. Next play, he drops a simple ass pass. And it's like, dude, you're not a rookie. You know what I mean? You're not a rookie. You should have developed a long time ago. I like his measurables, but I mean, that's about it. Everybody loves Treylon Burks. Watching that motherfucker's tape, man, I swear, he got wheels. If he falls to 22, this is the question I was asking. You guys go ahead and hit us up in the what's going on with you, man? Hey, let me ask you guys this question. Name your top 3 players in this draft. First round talent. Top 3 players in this draft that you would draft at 22 if they fell to us or if they was there. Let's not factor in free agency. Let's kick free agency out because that's going to dictate to what we do in the draft. Let's just go with the draft for right now. Top 3 players that can go first round that you would love for them to fall to us at 22nd. And I got a follow-up question for you when you answer that one. Let me know, you guys. Let me know.
Sorry about that.
What's up, Dominique 5? Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it, man.
What's up,
like I said, if you guys got questions, go ahead and feel free and ask.
Damn,
them.
I got my new headphones in.
Oh, shit. They came today?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you ready now.
Oh, it took me a day to get these motherfuckers. I'm happy as hell. I'm like, bro, that is what you need. You need to get your
man.
No, because the last headphones I bought, these motherfuckers, I would charge for like 7 hours, and they only worked like 2 days of like it combined like 10 hours. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm throwing these out. Nah, I need good headphones, bro.
Man, you always need a good set of those.
Yeah.
Something that keeps us charged and lasts a while. I got some good ones that I got off of Amazon.
Yeah.
Decent too. I love them. Dominique 5, man. What's up, man? Jameson Williams. Now, see, this is the thing I think about Jameson Williams. Will his ACL injury that he had in the national championship, would that cause him to drop? That's the thing. If he drops, do you think you might be able to, if you really have like Jameson on your board at the top and wide receivers, one of the top positions you're looking at, if you're the front office, do you stay back and still try to get him?
I mean,
yes.
I listen. I get it. He was great in college, but you're drafting a guy who you're not going to be able to play for the first 9 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
I want to see what Burks runs in the 40. Him in London.
Man,
I don't care what
I swear to God, I want to see that shit.
Listen, if you're gonna sit here and tell me you're really concerned about the 40, I'm not concerned about the 40. I don't give a damn as long as you can fucking catch the ball and run good routes.
Sergio Sanchez, thank you for joining. 1 minute.
D-Tech,
thank you for joining.
So I don't know why some Raider fans have even brought up the name Jordan Davis. Do not draft him. He's a big guy in the middle, and he put up like no stats. Like that's just another guy that he's just big for nothing. Like he did nothing on that field.
Now Dominic 5 in the chat said the same like you. Devin Lloyd, he brought his name up as far as someone he would go for in the first round. See
this comes with the thought because yes, I like him as a prospect. Yes, I do. Is he going to be available at 22? Fuck no. There's going to be a team in front of us that are going to draft him. So either if you really want Devin Lloyd, it comes to the thought of you have to trade up to get him. Like I'll keep it real.
Yeah.
I do like Devin. Yeah, no, Devin Lloyd's going to be.
Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it, man. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, man. I appreciate the love and the support.
I would be fine with either Devin Lloyd or Nakobe Dean. I honestly, if both of those are on the board and we don't draft one of them, it's a failed first round pick. And I'm telling you why. Because we don't have let's be honest. Name me 3 guys that you can say that you can see on the Raiders linebacker corps in the next 4 years. Like 4 years down the road. Outside Divine Diablo, I don't really have anyone that I don't think is part of the future for linebackers. Like, because you have a bunch of like Denzel Perriman's 29, so I think, in 4 years I think we'll have a replacement for him.
Shout out to Sergio. Hey, Sergio, yeah, we do need a defense or a nose tackle. We do need one if we're going 3-4. And I love old boy out of Alabama too. But there are also some quality nose tackles that's in this draft as well. That like you said, Jordan Davis, of course, that's one. Travis Jones, that's one. I named
Devontae
Wyatt.
I think if you're looking for a D tackle straight up, the best pick is DeMarvin Leal. I don't even think Jordan Davis is a top 5 D tackle in this class. Like he was bad. Like
but he's a space eater though.
Again, what did that do for Georgia? Because when they got to the outside runs, he had no effect on the game. You need a D tackle that can get outside and run stop too. And I think DJ Jones from the 49ers would be a great addition if you get him. The guy you named, Yeah, Ndamukong Suh, I think that'd be another guy. Solomon Thomas, I think needs to come back. I mean, we don't need that many D tackles because we're really going to be running 3-4. It just depends on what coverage we're running in the back end. You only need about 2 or 3 D tackles. D ends, I think we're going to keep around Malcolm Kuntz for backup. Carl Nassib, I don't know if we'll be in back or not, but we'll see. Dean had Wyatt and Davis in front doing all the work, made things very easy for him.
Yeah.
No on Dean. What do you mean no on Dean?
He don't want Dean.
Man, you crazy.
I asked the question. If there was three players in this draft that you feel the Raiders like, if they fell to us or not, Dean, who would be the 3 players?
Dean was arguably the best linebacker in this class. What are we saying? What?
Hey, it's difference of opinion, though. You know what I mean? It's difference.
Bro,
of opinion.
But that's my thing about it, though. Like, we do need linebacker, though. We do need linebacker because I really see this team getting rid of Kwiatkowski and Littleton. It's probably becoming more likely as days go on. These are kind of bad contracts, and they need to be. And let's be honest, we want that extra money. So,
and see one thing about Nakobe Dean that I kind of worry about is his measurables. 6 foot even, 225 for a linebacker.
I mean,
that's kind of, you know what I mean? I know they could put weight on him, but he only has a 6 foot frame. Now you figure these other dudes like Mumma,
he's
Mumma, for instance, 6'3", 245. Asamoah was 6'1", 228. That's another one.
I mean, you don't need to be the tallest linebacker. That's the thing.
No, you don't. But you gotta be solid.
I mean, 6 foot 225 is not bad.
Yeah, but if you got a running back that's the same fucking size, you know what I mean? I want to dominate that fucking matchup.
But here's my other point, though. He's mainly a pass coverage guy. So I think, it'll be Perryman playing close to the line with Abram, and then it just depends how we fill out that linebacker room. We need at least, I think, 7 to 8 linebackers coming in this season. I mean, I'm trying to think I think we need to bring back Nick Morrow. I think that's another guy. I think that's the guy we need to look out for. I think we should re-sign him. He's 25 years old. He's really young.
Yeah, Sergio. Hey, history does show, but see, one thing I know for certain though, this is not the same Raiders team though. Making the draft.
That front office is much better. You know what?
It's different. It's different with this team.
Who did the Bears guy that we brought in? Who was his first linebacker draft pick?
Champ Kelly?
Yeah. Who was his first? Yeah. Can you tell me who his first linebacker draft pick was? Roquan Smith.
Okay.
Just saying. And his second one of it, I think it was second pick, I think it was 2 years ago. I think this is how he kind of built up the defense. He's drafted Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, and Roquan Smith. Those are notable picks he's made. I think him and Dave Ziegler are going to be pretty good together. Littleton needs to go. I've said that. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So
you can't really release him pre-June 1st. We're going to take a hit.
I'll keep it honest. It's not more of he needs to go. His contract needs to go. Because if he's on a better contract, we wouldn't.
Like you said, I think he fits better in the 3-4 with Patrick Graham. Damn. Patrick Graham's defense will fit good for Littleton. But the thing is, if we release him pre-June 1st, we're going to take a hit on his salary.
What?
But if post-June 1st, I think it's 11 million that we save under the cap. So yeah, Sergio, that's a good point though. What the decisions that we got to make on Littleton? It's all up on the front office, you know.
Damn. What time is it? Damn.
Oh, it's fine, Sergio, man. Like they say, slow motion's better than none, man. So I appreciate you joining on and subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it highly. Thank you.
Here, 1 second, but here I'll be right back. All right, next.
All right, what's up to everybody in the chat? Appreciate you guys for pulling up. Dominique 5, Sergio, thank you for pulling up, man, and good questions too, and comments. I appreciate it. So look, the reason why I was asking the top 3 players that you would go for the Raiders if they fail at 22, I don't care what players they are. We know someone's going to go before us. but the players that you feel is going to fall to 22 out of those 3 players, and they got to be 3 different positions, right? And the reason why I ask this, some people might say Treylon Burks would be 1, Nakobe Dean would be 2. Who else would you guys like in this draft at 22 that you would be willing to pick? Would you go offensive tackle? That's a possibility too. You know, defensive tackle, like I said, there's Travis Jones, Devontae Wyatt out there that, you know what I mean, you possibly would want to go with at 22. But this is why I asked this question. Out of those 3 positions, because I want to know, what do you think the Raiders' most pressing need is? If all 3 of those players that you choose, it doesn't matter who, if every single one of those players that you pick fell to us that you were willing to pick were all available at the same time, who would be your number 1 go-to? That's my question. Out of the 3 players you say you would hope fall to us at 22, which one out of those 3 would you be willing to use that pick on first? And knowing you're not going to get the other 2 because they'll be gone too. You know, people behind us is going to take them. Second round in that first half is going to take them. Who would you take out of the top 3 players that you would hope falls to us at 22? Which one of those would you pick? So I want to know basically what is our most dire need on this team to fill in the draft. That's the question. That's the hot question. Wide receiver, Dominic. Hey, I think the same way, man. I think if Treylon Burks or even maybe dude from USC, if they fall down, well, there's more wide receivers, but Treylon Burks you got measurables that you're born with that you can't duplicate to nobody else. His height, size, speed, that's like, man, I watched this dude's film and I'm like, for him to be the size he is, he got wheels. He got wheels for real. Man, I'm serious. That shit is like, man, crazy. I see him leave dude in the dust. I'm like, what the fuck? This motherfucker run fast like he ain't got that weight and that size on him. You know what I mean? But he's a freak. So it's hard to pass up a freak of nature athlete. It's just hard to do it. It's hard to do it. And he can catch the ball. And he got a radius because of his length of catching the ball. And the 50-50 balls he can go up and get. I seen a play he made in the back of the end zone where I swear he jumped so high, whoever was on him, head was at his waist. And then he just went up and snatched the shit. Like it wasn't nothing. Man, for real. Hey, wide receiver would have to be something you have to think about. But if you got one of these elite defenders, whether it's linebacker or defensive tackle at that same time, man, like for instance, what if Jordan Davis and Treylon Burks was available at 22? What would you do? What would you do if Treylon Burks and Jordan Davis was available at 22 when it was time for us to pick? What would you do? You know what I mean? Yeah, the trenches is the most important. It is the most important. But man, you usually build from the inside out, offensive line, defensive line. But if you get a freak of nature athlete that only comes around, like when was the last time you had a receiver like Treylon Burks? You could probably mention DK Metcalf, but that wasn't last year. What year? Wasn't it 2 years that Treylon came out? I mean DK Metcalf. But I like Burks. But like I said, if you get somebody massive as Jordan Davis, come on now. We need a defensive tackle. We're going to need a nose tackle in that middle, man. I mean, there's other options. Don't get me wrong. But it's hard. Like, if you got 3 of the people that you just like drooling over, which one of them 3 do you go with? Some say wide receivers. Some say trenches. Those are all correct answers. But I'm interested in seeing. I want to see how our front office think. You know what I mean? We can probably go back into seeing what New England has done in the past. But that might not be indicative of what McDaniels want to do. You know, maybe McDaniels had to do it Belichick's way, but maybe McDaniels a little more innovative as far as doing this draft. And same with Ziegler, being more innovative and has a different path of getting to the same goal of getting a Super Bowl. What players can you bring in to help us? We need help right now. Wide receiver, man, I agree. But it was also stated too, the trenches. There's so many different directions we can go with this. So many. That's why I'm excited, man. I'm excited for free agency. I'm excited for the draft. I want to see, what does this team, front office, what do they hold as importance to our Raiders to make us better? We're already a playoff team. And I guarantee you, if they go into this draft and free agency and they knock this shit out the park, oh, you got to say contenders. You have to. You have to. We went toe-to-toe with the Bengals, who represented the AFC in the Super Bowl. I'm talking about, it came down to the last play of the game. We need help in the fucking red zone. We do need to work in the trenches, but our red zone sucked ass. Weren't we last in red zone scoring? Burks would be wonderful in the red zone. Him, and if you keep Waller and Renfro, then you go out in free agency and you grab another receiver that's your main number one, a veteran number one, and you put like Treylon Burks at the 2 receiver. Now your slot is Renfro and your tight end is Waller. Imagine that in the red zone. Dude, I'm telling you, there's so many options. It's going down, though. I'll tell you what, I can't wait till April 28th to the 30th. It's interesting to see a possible shit show on the field. Man, I want to see the next reinvention. Yeah, Al never did let nobody change 4-3. Well, no, I take that back. That's incorrect. Because it got switched back to. There was a story just recently with Warren Sapp telling the story with Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan ran a 3-4 with us. But the thing that was happening is they were taking Warren Sapp off the field on 3rd down. So Warren was like, if I'm supposed to get to the quarterback, I got to be on the field. And the story goes that the players will tell him, well, go talk to Al. And Warren Sapp was like, go talk to Al. Shouldn't I go talk to like the defensive coordinator or the head coach? They said, no, go talk to Al. So he walks up to Al after one of the games and said, Al, he said, what was I brought here for? And Al said, excuse me? Warren Sapp said, what was I brought here for? You brought me here to get the quarterback, right? And Al was like, right. He said, well, I can't get to the quarterback if I'm not on the field. And Al said, I'll take care of it. And they said the next day when they had their little defensive meeting, Rob Ryan was mad as hell and said, we're not going to run this defense no more. We're running a 4-3 now. One of my players went and told Al Davis about the defense. So they actually were running a 3-4 and switched to a 4-3 under Rob Ryan. But that was because Al Davis had Warren Sapp come tell him that he couldn't make plays on the quarterback if he wasn't on the field. So Al Davis made Rob Ryan change it back to a 4-3. So that's just one of those stories that I just heard recently. And it was kind of interesting to see that happen. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I don't care. I don't care because, like I said, when you have a new regime coming in and taking over a team, and we're so used of our team doing the same shit that was not fucking working under Gruden, under Mike Mayock, the shit wasn't. See, Mike Mayock was good in the second half of the draft. That's how you got your Renfros and your Max Crosbys and shit like that. You know what I mean? But man, you can't afford to miss on a first-round pick. I mean, that means you get one of the top 32 players. You get one of the top. Out of all the colleges and all the talent coming out in the draft, you can't hit on one fucking player? And it's kind of like we always were the team to try to always knock it out the park in the first round by reaching for someone with potential, with like with measurables that's like unheard of. We did it with Hayward Bay, Stanford route. The list goes on. The speed, you know what I mean? All that shit. Jihad Ward, come on. I know if y'all don't remember Jihad Ward, they reached on his ass. Can't find him no more. What about the workout warrior that we had at tackle? Bruce, what was his name? Bruce Campbell. We reached on Bruce Campbell. He was a workout freak, an athlete, but man, he never panned out and paid off for that fucking draft pick. Man, I remember all those damn picks, man. We always try to do some outlandish. But see, one thing I say, if it ever did hit, it'll be a tremendous ass hit, but we just ain't been hitting on them. They've been always take the best available, and hopefully that best available is a need as well. If we can fill a need along with the best available, and which I think that's what's going to happen in this draft. I don't think we can go wrong at 22. At least I hope. Fingers crossed. Hope they don't do no old foul ass shit coming out of left field with draft picks that should have been in the second, third round. Man. No, they're going to go get the players to run a 3-4. But see, what Patrick Graham said was, you don't even have to pigeonhole our defense into a base of a 4-3 or a 3-4. We're going to run everything. He said everything is on the table when we run defenses. And we're not going to run the same defense week in and week out. And that makes sense because it's like, you don't play the same defense against all offenses because all offenses ain't the same. Those offenses ain't going to run the same offense that they run every week against you. That's why they go into the room and they sit down and they game plan. Okay, this team is good at this and that. What's the team going to do trying to blueprint their offense when they face a defense like ours that's multifaceted, that can be 4-3, 3-4, bring in the nickel, the dime, 5-2, anything. We could be anything. You don't know. Well, how the fuck is they going to plan for a defense like that? It's easy to plan for a defense that's base 4-3 with the same players in the same spots, same linebackers, same secondary, running either man or running a 2-high safety or Tampa, the Tampa 2. Man, it's easy to plan for that because they do that week in and week out. But how can you plan for a defense that's not the same every week? That's, to me, is kind of, if the young players can grasp that idea and get out there on the field and do that shit, man, it's going to cause problems for offenses. We need more blitzes. I didn't like the fact that we did that bend don't break shit with Gus Bradley. His defense was solid, but then they give out a lot of plays in the middle of the field. We were horrible in the red zone on defense too. We couldn't stop nobody. Every team that got in the red zone on this man, they produced touchdowns. No, we can't have that shit. We got to keep these offenses on their heels and uncomfortable, especially the quarterback. Quarterback can't be comfortable in the pocket against us. We can't allow that shit to happen. No. I like Morig. Morig is solid. I like him. For a rookie, he was solid. You know what I mean? I like his size. I like his measurables, but I like his skill set. This dude, and he still has an upside. He's a rookie and he hasn't hit his ceiling. He could still be coached up, and he could possibly become one of the best safeties in the league, hands down. And then with this new defense, you get him another safety to complement him because that's what they're going to do. I don't think Abrams should not be safety in our defensive scheme because his coverage is not good. He can't cover. He's a liability when it comes to covering. You got to put him in his. See, I hate when coaches come in and they try to force a round peg into a square hole or a square peg into a round hole. I hate that. You got to put a player in position depending on his strengths. You know what I mean? You don't put him in a position where his weaknesses are exposed because teams are going to feed off of that and target that shit. But you put him in his strengths. To me, Abrams' strength is up close to the line against the run. That's what he's good at. He can identify where the ball's at, and boom, he can beeline, and he's a good tackler. But in coverage, liability. So you move him down into the box. You go out there and get, like we were talking about, free agents, Jabril Peppers. I would love that. He played for Patrick Graham in New York. So there's a familiarity amongst each other with them two, and I'm pretty sure Graham knows how to use him. You know what I mean? But yeah, you don't take a player and you try to force them to fit your system. You come up with a system that fits your players. That's what Graham is saying. He's saying all the right shit. That's what he said he's gonna do. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm looking forward to Morig to keep growing. You know what I mean? In the NFL. He's a solid ass safety, man, but he just needs more burn. He needs to stay on the field, stay healthy, and get coached up. That's all he got to do. I like the secondary coach. What is it? Jason Simmons that we got out of Carolina that we brought over. I like Simmons. Simmons used to be with Green Bay. The time that he was there with Green Bay with that secondary, they were like, what, in top 15 in interceptions and turnovers and shit. So hey, we got a good one. We got a good one. Let's see if they can work their magic with the players that we already got. The Devin Diablos. You know what I mean? Players like that, the young Morigs. We got young players that need to be coached up. Because, like I said, this is a playoff team. We can't afford to try to get key positions and have these new young like rookies that we're going to get come in and expect them to produce and not go through like a fucking bumping their head and learning. You got to learn. Colton Miller did not come out the gate as one of the best left tackles. He had to develop into that. That's why I don't want to draft an offensive tackle to start right away. You can draft one later and put them and groom them, but I don't want to, man, no. It'd be different if we were only a 5-win team. A 5-win team with a rookie right tackle, I'll take it. He can learn. But man, not a 10-win team that made the playoffs. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, Gillespie. Hey, right on. Yeah, for real. Hey, Gillespie's another player, man. For real. I need it. Ingold got to come back. We got young, good players. That's the whole key. The whole key. Okay, let me ask you guys this question. Tell me how you feel about this. We know that Josh Jacobs is going to be coming up to be able to discuss extensions. Would you extend him? And if you wouldn't extend them, would you go for a possible replacement in case you can't extend them, or the asking price is too high? And if you go running back, we're not going to say first round back. We're going to talk, because we're not going to go high with a running back. No, not with Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake already on the team. They're going to probably go, I wouldn't even say third round. I'll say fourth round and beyond for a running back. But I got my eyes set on one. I got a running back that I love, that I would hope that falls to us, and he should hopefully in the fourth round. I would love a running back then, just in case, because you're not promised to get Josh Jacobs back, you know. Alex Morton, thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate your appearance. You know what I mean? Man, I'm glad to have you guys up in here, man. Yeah, we're just discussing what Raiders can do in free agency and in the draft. But like I was talking about with running back, there's a running back I need you guys to go check out on YouTube. His name is Rashad White out of Arizona State. And his name is spelled Rachad, White. Arizona State, 6'2", 210 with a 4.4. Hold on, where's my sleeper? He has a 4.4 640. His fucking highlight reel is tremendous, and he's a hell of a catcher out the backfield. See, to me, Jacobs is not that great at catching the ball. He can run, but he drops. But Rashad White, oh my God, he got the wheels, the height, he got hands, and the speed, man. I'm talking about, he doesn't have that 0 to 60, but boy, once he takes off and that speed builds up, he's leaving people behind. 4.46 is nice for 6'2", 210. And you know he's gonna probably put 5-10 pounds on his damn on his frame. Yeah, you're not extending. That's what I was thinking too, because I'm thinking what Jacobs is gonna be looking at, what, $10 million a year? I don't know about doing no $10 million, man. That's why I said go draft one. But yeah, if you guys can, go to YouTube and check out Rashad White, Arizona State running back. And then tell me what you think. Tell me what you imagine him in our backfield. Kenyon Drake is already under contract, so that's a no-brainer. After his shit is up, do you bring him back? I don't know. But Rashad White, man, I like him. Are you guys familiar with the tight end out of Nevada, Cole? His name is Cole Turner. He's 6'6", 240. That's a tight end that I think can fall to us later in the later rounds too. That's why I see us trading back and accumulating more picks, because there's some nice guys that's gonna be 4, 5, and 6, and we don't have a 6th-round pick, but we got 2 5s. So I can see us. We're gonna move back. That's just what Patriots did, man. Every time in the late rounds, you always see their name pop about New England made a trade with such and such, and they move back and they're getting such and such 6th, 7th pick with their second, or not second round, but 3rd, 4th round, whatever round it is that they trade out of. They be making deals, and we need bodies. Like you said, we need defensive tackle, offensive tackle, corner, wide receiver. I say running back, guard. You might even, and I'm gonna say this, and to you Carr fans out there, I'm not saying get rid of his ass, but we don't have no backup quarterbacks. Carr's the only quarterback under contract right now. 3rd-string quarterback, we need a rookie. Go out there and find you a project. Not saying he's going to surpass and take Carr's, but a project. We need quarterbacks on this team. We seen what happened when Carr went down in 2016. I seen it. I was at the game against the Colts. That shit had me fucked up like, oh no. And you just had to sit and wait for the news to come out. Did he break his leg? Hopefully it was just like a strain. He broke his shit, man. That shit had me so disgusted. But you go quarterback. Backup quarterback, I like free agents. Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor. Good little cheap, probably 3-4 million a year. Possibly 5. It all depends on what the bidding on them are, but we need to secure that backup spot at the quarterback, man, with somebody that can hold it down. God forbid we lose a Carr. Dominique, you've been waiting for us to draft and develop what a young QB. That's a no-brainer. You got to develop a young QB. You have to. That's just what teams do. It ain't gonna be no 1st, 2nd, 3rd round quarterback. Somebody later round, but a sleeper. Somebody that our scouts went out and found. It could be a small college. You know what I mean? But they're out there. You'll find some good quarterbacks. You might not even have to draft one, but if you find one that you really like, that you assume could be taken later before the draft is up, you can also go into, after the draft, the undrafted free agents, rookies. You can go and find your quarterback there too, though. Doesn't mean, like I said, if you go sign a free agent quarterback veteran, your 3rd-string quarterback is going to be a rookie, and that's just, you develop him. That's what you do. You develop a young quarterback. That's the smartest thing to do. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, Carr ain't going to be here forever, whether he retire, get traded, or walk away from the end of a contract. That shit happens. Nobody expected Peyton Manning to go to Denver. You know what I mean? Now you're looking at, nobody expected Tom Brady to go to Tampa Bay. Now Aaron Rodgers, his decision is looming on what he's going to do. He can end up somewhere else. So it's like, man, you have to get a young quarterback, someone that you feel has the potential of being groomed into something special. Brady wasn't a 1st, 2nd, 3rd round pick. They're out there. You'll find quarterbacks out there, man. But do you have the coaching staff to go ahead and groom them? I think you can. You got a coaching staff that came from New England that spent their fucking years with Tom Brady developing him. You know what I mean? So they know what it takes, and they know what to look for in a quarterback. And their system is perfect, because you remember, that's why Garoppolo got traded for all them picks from the 49ers, because he stepped in when Brady got hurt, and they kept winning. But it was a system. To me, it was the system. Because he goes to the 49ers, and he don't look impressive to me. Hell, they're talking about getting rid of him for a young ass quarterback who ain't even ready yet. You know what I mean? He's not even ready. He only sat the bench for 1 year. So, like, there's options out there, though. Hey, Bailey is, I heard of him too, man. Yeah, from Western Kentucky. I'm going to check him out. Matter of fact, let me pull this shit up right now over here. I'm gonna go ahead and check his name out, man. So what impresses you about him from Western Kentucky, about Bailey? Oh, he broke he broke Joe Burrow's TD records? Oh yeah, I'm about to check dude out. Do you know what rounds they expect him to be drafted in? What's his projection in the draft? Let's see. Bailey out of Western Kentucky. Zap. Bailey Zap. Let's see. Bailey Zap. Let's see exactly what this man looks like, dude. Let me turn this volume down because I know this shit going bam. All right. Oh, nice throw. Nice throw. Okay. He looked like he got a nice stature too. As far as, let me see what his height, weight, his measurables are on this. Oh, that was a nice throw too. Yeah, I'm up here watching it now, man. Watching Zap, Bailey Zap. He looks decent, man. I like he's real calm in the pocket. He's poised. Let me check and see how he goes through his reads. Out of Western Kentucky, huh? See, I haven't been scouting none of the day 3. Yeah, that'll be a nice little for him. He looks like a nice little solid quarterback, man, that in the 3rd round, and then to develop him. Okay. What's his arm strength? Oh, he going deep on this one. Oh, caught him in stride. Oh. Okay. Bailey Zapp. I got to keep this man's name. Nice read on that one. Yeah. What other quarterbacks you know of that you feel could be like day 3? Dominique, what you think day 3? Another quarter, you got another quarterback from like a small, oh shit. He caught his ass in stride. See, look, I'm watching this film right now, man. He slung that shit. What? Hold on. I gotta see that again. And he's mobile. Man, let me look this dude up. Now you got me. Now I'm gonna keep my eye on this dude, man. Now you got me. Let me see. I'm gonna go see this dude's measurables. Yo, I like that last name, Zap. Bailey Zap. What's cracking? Okay, let's see. Let's look at his numbers. All right, Bailey Zapp, 6'1", 220 pounds. He had 5,967 yards, 62 TDs, and only 11 interceptions for this past season. Are you fucking serious? With a QBR of 78.6. He was 14th. He was tied. The touchdowns, man. I see that shit. 62 fucking touchdowns. Oh, shit. With only 11 interceptions? What about the previous years he had with, let me see. Let me look at these touchdowns, man, because that's all that fucking matters. He had 62 last year. Last year, he kind of fell off, but let me see how many games played. It's not telling me how many games. See, 2020, he only had 15. So I'm assuming he did not play. Yeah, I don't think he played a lot his junior year. Yeah, it don't make sense. But before then, his sophomore year, he had 35 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. And his freshman year was 23 touchdowns and 13. So he developed good. Shit, of course he developed good. He's throwing 62 of them. Shit. Okay. I see you, Bailey. I'm up here watching your tape. Okay. Right on, Dominique, for that one. That heads up. Matter of fact, let me write that shit down, man. Where my pen? 1 second, y'all. Let's see. Bailey Zapp out of Western Kentucky. QB 6'1", 220, 62 TDs, 11 INTs. That's damn good. Yeah, that might be something you gotta you might think about in them late rounds, especially if you can trade back and get some extra picks. Use one on him. For sure, use one on him. Oh, Alabama. Oh, now we're going to the HBCUs. Okay. Now that's don't. But see, now this year I'm knowing at the combine that there's been a few HBCU quarterbacks and players that's been invited to the combine this time around. That's cool. Because I'm telling you, you can always find a diamond in the rough, man. You can find a diamond in the rough all the time, but you got to be willing to look under every rock. And a lot of times those HBCUs are always overlooked because they're small black colleges. Quill Glass. We're about to find him out. Let me see. Let me make sure I got that spelling. AQUEEL. Let's see. Quill Glass. Here we go. We watching the highlight reel on Quill Glass. Alabama A&M. Let's see what this guy look like, man, because I should put that shit up on the screen. Let's see how we gonna work this shit. I don't want to. Well, shit, I ain't worried about no copyright. Ooh. What the fuck? He mobile like that too? A Quill Glass. Look at his arm. Oh, that was a nice. Hey, a Quill Glass, man. I like this dude, man. He's dropping that fucking ball right on the money. Damn. And he's mobile. Hold on. What's his measurables? That's what, man. Damn. Option, touchdown. Let me check out the old boy's measurables real quick, man, so I can see. Man, that's another good hit, dude. You know your shit. you know your shit on here, huh? I'm gonna check out I want to see what his measurables are, man. What is height, weight, and speed if they got all that information. Here goes bio. Shit. Let's see what numbers he threw up at Alabama A&M. Fuck, 6'5", 215. Are you fucking kidding me? From St. Louis, Missouri. He had 3,568 yards, 36 TDs with 7 INTs. Golly. Okay. I'm curious. At 6'5", 215. So he got a frame where he can throw some muscle on. 225, 230 is not even like out of the fucking conversation. Goodness. Sick, man, that's a nice size quarterback, dude. Hey, right on for that one, bro. For real. Let me see. Let me check something else on him, man. Cause I'm just curious. I know he's not the fastest, but as long as he has some kind of mobility. Will he be at the combine? I'm not sure. Let's see what they're saying about him. Yeah, Quill Glass, man. I'm that one. Shit, you might get lucky and catch him later than 4th, huh? But like I said, if you can go ahead and trade back and get a couple of more picks, I say do it. All right. Oh, but I got a problem with him, though, man. And here's the thing. Here's the red flag on a Quill Glass. He got fucking small ass hands. I hope this is an error, what they wrote on here. But it's 8 7/8 of an inch. That's some little ass hands for a quarterback. Carr is about like 9 1/4, and we see his fumbling, 13 fumbles this year because his hands ain't big. He try to grip the ball and run like that, and it's easy to strip him. This dude's hands are smaller than Derek Carr's. See, that's the kind of thing. That's also thing like what you guys think about the free agent wide receiver DJ Chark. I like DJ Chark, but the thing with him is he got little hands too. His is almost the same size as Carr, just off by like an 1/8 of an inch. But yeah, man, hold on, man. I hope this shit ain't. How you 6'5" and 215 and your hands are 8 inches or almost? Let's round it off to 9. Just barely 9. Not even made it into 9 inches yet. That's man. Let's see his weaknesses. Let's see what they're saying about his weaknesses on here. I'm reading his little profile. All right. Man, I do not like that fucking needs to improve his touch. Needs to improve his touch at all levels and know when to gun it and when to take something off his throws. His accuracy is solid, but far from great. With safety ball placement downfield. Let's see. Are they saying anything about his hands? Because I know that was one question that they were brought up about Derek Carr in the draft was his hand size, which it shows why he fumbles a lot. It is what it is. You are what you are. You know what I mean? So, man, they're not mentioning anything about there, but he they said he has a heart, but he's a development player. I mean, you would develop him. He's not to come in and take over your franchise. It's just a project. You got to have a young QB to have as a project. You never know. What if you do groom him into the next fucking Brady or, you know what I mean, or Rodgers? You don't know. Even Rodgers, I remember that draft with Rodgers. He dropped. The Niners took Alex Smith over Aaron Rodgers. How did that happen? And I watched Aaron Rodgers when I lived in the Bay Area. I went to a couple of the Cal Berkeley games and seen Aaron Rodgers. That man was solid. I don't know why they overlooked him. I don't know why all these teams passed Aaron Rodgers out, man. But, man. Yeah, they got some good talent out there, man. Hey, I can't wait for free agency in the draft. Like I keep saying, this is going to be interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Well, y'all, I came on here We put it down for an hour and 30 or an hour and 45 minutes. Man, I appreciate each one of you guys who came and participated and left questions. Dominique, man, nothing but love for you, man. Martin, Alex Martin, thank you for coming up in here too. Appreciate it, man. Who else? Dominique 5, thank you for coming up in here. Thank you to Sports Source for popping up on the live with me, chopping it up about the Raiders. Man, I love this shit. I just can't wait till this shit unfolds. You guys go ahead and any Raider fans you guys know, spread the word. Raiders Allegiance with Lunatic Raider. We here. We're throwing our hat in the ring. So it's good to go ahead and conversate with you guys and pick your brains and see what you guys know. And hell, I learned a lot tonight or today. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody who gave me some brain food. You know what I mean? But I appreciate y'all. But I'm signing off. Anybody else that, like I said, all your friends, anybody you know that's Raider fans, man, spread the word. Instagram, let them know that Raiders Allegiance. I'm trying to build this channel, man. I'm starting from the bottom, and I'm trying to get there. Not here yet, but I'm trying to get there. But with y'all's help, man, I appreciate it, man. So with that, I'm signing off. Lunatic Raider, Raiders Allegiance. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you can be notified of all the content I release, including breaking news. I'd like to thank you for coming. I'm out.